need to get that stuff on Tuesday. Go get that. Yes, you can. And then you get the stuff, and you're like, oh, okay. Well, I got my stuff, so guess I'll see you later.
That's not really how that happens.
What? That's how they do it on the TV shows.
Bed, love,
Bed,
love,
Beyond.
Bed, love, beyond. Bed, love, beyond.
Hey, what is going on? Welcome to Bed Love Beyond. I'm Martini.
I'm Jen.
And this is the podcast for the hopeful and the hater in us to discuss sex, love, and whatever's clever with like-minded people like you who are also in limbo with love.
Like us.
Thank you for listening to us on Podbean, iTunes, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, and
Google Play Music.
Yes, and please rate, review, like, and subscribe to us on any of the devices that you listen to. And today's episode is episode 62, picking up the last of your stuff, moving out, and moving on.
Bye, bitch.
So last episode we talked about, hey, we gave the person the key, everything's all nice and rosy and all that stuff, and then a couple of months to years out, really not feeling each other no more. So you guys break up for whatever reason, and then it's like, all right, this person's got to go. So how do you deal with kicking that person out of your house or you getting kicked out of the house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never got kicked out of anywhere. Oh, except for my roommate in Newark. I wasn't really upset about that.
Before we get started, any daily dish? Anything happen
No.
since we last talked?
Not that I can think of. Everything's copacetic.
All right. Cool. So picking up the last of your stuff, like, that's crazy. Again, I'm sorry that I really can't contribute to this because never kicked anybody out before. Or like I haven't never been kicked out. So I don't know how it feels to be like, all right, this person needs to go. And also just the real like thing that how like that person has already like left. But of course, you have the inevitable box of stuff that you need to go back and go get. And you're like, yeah, I need to get that stuff on Tuesday. Go get that. Yes, you can. And then, you get the stuff and you're like, oh, okay. Well, I got my stuff, so guess I'll see you later.
That's not really how that happens.
What? That's how they do it on the TV shows. You get the stuff and you're like, well, I guess I'll see you. He's like, okay, fine. You're like, you look good. The person's like, thank you. And then the guy just closes the door and then like he leaves. Hey,
Two times, like
that's how I've always seen it.
one time I was breaking up with somebody. I knew I was breaking up with somebody. I tried to break up with the person. We talked about this when the person ghosted, super ghost.
Oh, super ghost, okay.
Right.
Oh yeah, yes.
So
Oh
I was trying to break up with him, but then he just super ghosted on me.
Yeah, for all the new listeners, if you don't know what she's talking about, well, of course you don't because you're new. Super Ghost. We had an episode called Ghosting. I forget which episode number that is, but go listen to that episode and then listen to the story about Super Ghost and then bring your ass back here to this. All right, so go ahead.
So, yeah, that happened. And then I didn't even know I was getting broken up with, and I went away to Florida. And when I came back, my boyfriend was living at my house. Like, he stayed and watched my dog for me. I don't know how my dog survived that. Or did he? Maybe my dog wasn't there. Where was my dog? I don't know. But either way, like when I got back, all his stuff was gone. Mm-hmm. Like, and I knew it was for real because his Xbox was gone. Brooklyn, he bounced.
That's when you know.
I was like, yo.
That's when you know.
And then, like, as soon as I walked in the door, he was like, sit down, we have to talk. And I was like, what the fuck? And like, we were getting along so good on the phone and stuff. I had no idea what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a clue. I mean, he always threatened to break up, and like I said, we probably shouldn't have been together as long or at all. But I was like devastated for a long time, and I went on a downward party spiral after that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And then when me and my ex broke up, like, we lived together, and like then we lived together for a month after we broke up, which was hard. Like, we just kind of stayed in separate rooms. he slept down here while we were doing our podcast, and I slept in the bed because it was my bed. And I don't know. And then it was kind of just like, well, it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it. And then, like, when he moved, like, I was just like, oh my God, he's leaving. But he honestly didn't get his stuff back, all of his stuff back, until like a couple months ago. He still had some things here, and I brought them to him, like I think I mentioned on the podcast. Like, I kind of just met him out, and he was like, are you going to tell your boyfriend? I'm like, yes, of course, asshole. And that's it. And, like, it sucks, like, because you feel like everything that you kind of built together is, like, now crumbling in front of you. But if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. And it's just stuff. It's worse when their stuff is still here, because then you see it, and you're like, oh, God. Like, now I don't remember that he used to live here, other than I know that it's a fact.
Right, yeah.
Like, I just know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, God forbid if me and my boyfriend break up, like, then, like, he has some stuff here. It's not, like, super visible. It's, like, in the closet and under the sink and all that other shit. But, like, I mean, and I don't think I have anything in his house. I gotta start leaving little things there.
Okay.
Like little T-shirts or something. I don't know. Something.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's hard, but, I mean, like, I don't know. I always love those stories. Like, my friend took a picture once of, like, I guess somebody in her apartment building got pissed at her boyfriend and, like, threw all his shit out on the lawn. Yeah. That's gully. I've always wanted to do that, but I have, like, more, like, respect for people than that.
That's funny, because I can see you doing that.
Really?
Yeah. I can see you doing that.
I guess if you cross me the wrong way.
Yeah, I could definitely see you doing it. Like, you motherfucker. Like you'd definitely be on like, you'd have to be on, like, a porch and just throw his shit out. Like, Jennifer, what the fuck? Like, shut up, you motherfucker. And, like, just throwing shit. Like, I could totally see that. I'm like, yo, she's pissed.
Like, you done did it now.
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I've never had, like I said, I never had to move out of anywhere.
Yeah.
Not that I could think of. I'm trying to think of my younger days.
But
I've always kicked them out. Even if, like, we, like, cohabitated together. Like, me and my first boyfriend, like, we moved in together. And at first, he told me to go home. And I went home for, like, a couple days. And I was like, fuck this. And I was like, I'm coming back home. I live there too. And I'm going to figure it out. And if you're not down with that, then you can leave. And we lived together for a while when we were broken up. And I actually met Brooklyn when I was broken up with and living with him. I remember he threw my phone across the house. I put it back together and called him back. Yo, those Nokias were the bomb. Nokia's never deconstructed. We were broken up, and, like, he was clearly fucking somebody else. So the fact that I was on, like, MySpace, like, talking to new friends, and he wanted to get bent out of shape, that's, like, the bad part, though. I mean, I was 23 and immature and, you know, not giving a fuck.
Wait, you guys had, it was your own space.
Yeah,
it wasn't like you moved into his or he moved into yours. It was like we got a place
He was
together.
living with, like, those roommates in Nanuet, and, like, I was living at home with my mom, and he was like, we need to be together.
Right. Okay, so you got a place
and
together.
And he's like, I'm going to get us a place. And he did.
That's crazy, too. Like,
go
yeah.
You.
How do you kick somebody out of a place that it's not yours? You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know,
I don't know how I managed to do that, actually.
Like, if your boyfriend moved in and things weren't going well, this is your house. You can kick him out. But let's say you guys got a place together.
Right.
Who leaves?
I guess, like, you have...
Like, that's what I mean.
I feel like we're at the age where you have, like, an adult conversation about that. Like, who's going to go?
Yeah.
Because this isn't working, and, you know, we need to come up with a better plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then you figure it out. I mean...
Yeah. I remember a religious girl. She lived with her ex. I mean, with her boyfriend, who is now her ex, obviously. But I don't know if they moved in together or if it was, like, his place originally. But I know that she eventually left. It was weird because, like, they broke up, but they still had to, like, live together because she had no means to be on her own and stuff. But she eventually found a way, and, like, she eventually, like, left. But it's not like she didn't want to leave. But I think that she would have left. She would have left sooner if she had the ability.
Right.
So I don't know if it was necessarily him saying like, "Yo, you gotta go," or whatever. Because I don't know if it was actually his place or a place that they got together.
Right. So I think that it's definitely something you have to be prepared for. I don't know that you should really cohabitate with someone. I mean, if you cohabitate with someone and you're like sharing the bills, then, you know, if you have to leave, then you go find some place where you can be a roommate to somebody and then you make it happen. But like, that's pretty much what I did. Like, I didn't want to leave, and I kind of figured I got strength from somewhere, and I was enjoying
from somewhere.
I was enjoying my independence, and I was like, you clearly cheated. Some bitch is calling my phone talking about I'm gonna call wherever my baby daddy lays his head, and like the person who like rescued you, you're now looking at like the biggest piece of shit in the world, and you're like, ha, you can go, motherfucker. And then I was like, okay. And then I had a party. Had a couple parties. I remember one weekend we were broken up and I just told him to leave. I was like, we were broken up but he was still living there. I was like, just go out and leave so I can get my head together. I had a party. I invited Brooklyn.
Oh, God.
Brooklyn had a girlfriend. It was a good time. I didn't sleep with him. Calm down. I'm just saying.
Oh.
I put up a roommate.
For that one audience member who thought that?
You thought that too, Martini.
No, I didn't. I was just like the beginnings. That's what I said in my head.
The
beginnings of you guys.
I put up a sign-in sheet to see if anyone wanted to be my roommate. He signed up. I think it was the only one. He liked me.
That he did?
And then he ruined me.
That he did.
Yeah. And then one day he was my roommate.
And he ruined me too.
Sorry. I feel like I'm still allowed to be a little bit bitter about it, but you can't. I don't know why.
No. He totally royally fucked you up. I mean,
destroyed me.
There's stories that we can't say on this podcast, but there's some stories that I still remember, and it just gets me so angry.
Do I remember any of these stories?
You should. Yeah.
I don't know. You know, like abuse victims kind of forget things.
I'm surprised that you don't.
He didn't beat me or anything.
No. It wasn't anything like that.
It was more like mental abuse.
Absolutely, total emotional. Abuse. Like there's one story that will always stay with me, and
do tell.
And I'm just like, all right, well, I'll just give you points, and you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
This is so easy. When he said that he loved you, but it wasn't for you.
Oh, he was sleeping, and he said, "I love you."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I questioned him about it, and he said that he didn't say it, or that
wasn't meant for you.
Yeah,
that's not my story to tell, so I'm glad that you said it. But it's like
I kind of remember that.
That's so fucked up.
I didn't think it was then, because he was dreaming. Like
that does.
My friend told the story the other day about how like when I used to have parties for like every occasion. And like I was like, oh, it's Martin Luther King Day. It was a Martin Luther King Day party. I was like, we're off, so Sunday night we're having a party to celebrate Martin Luther King. My boy like wore his like Martin Luther King t-shirt.
Right.
And like we were playing this game. I have the book somewhere. The like, the If book.
Okay.
You like read questions and answer them together.
Oh, okay.
I should find that book again. It's like way before the and.
Right. That popped in my head.
Yeah.
the if, the and.
Yeah. And the question was, if you could wake up next to one person every day, who would it be?
Wait,
and
you the book asked this question.
The book asked the question.
And you said this question?
So somebody like reads the question. One person reads the question,
yeah.
and then everyone in the room answers it, and we pass the book.
Okay.
So when it came to him, Brooklyn,
yeah,
my friend was like, if you can wake up next to one person every day, who would it be? And he like puts his hand on me and he points to me, and everyone's like, oh.
Of course.
And he's like, she knows. And I was like, Jessica Alba. Like,
oh shit. What a twist. I was not expecting that. I thought he was being a douche to be like, to get the
No, he didn't care about shit like that.
Wow.
And then everyone was like, damn.
See, and that's messed up too, because that's my girl. You see, I hate this guy even more, yo. I'm never gonna like this guy ever. I'm never gonna like him ever. For real, like.
So yeah, everyone was like, oh.
Like I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
As many bad times as there were, I still have like those good times though that like stick in my face. That like I know why I was there.
He for as much as whatever he did bad, like you always said, he was in the timeline of Jennifer. You know, like he was a definite. You put a definite pin in the time that you spent together.
Epic fail.
That's a good thing. Yeah. I mean that's a good
term to use.
Yeah, it's a good term.
But when he left, he kind of took a shit. Well, the first time we broke up, he took a shit and he left. He was like, bye, and I dropped him off at the train station, and I was like, bye, bitch. And then I think I went back to my ex, the one, my first like love,
right, from
7 years. Kind of went back to him, and then he cheated again. That's really crazy, man. I haven't had good luck. And then, like, this podcast makes me, like, bring up bad memories.
I was going to say that, like, sometimes I feel sorry because sometimes you catch PTSD and you're like, getting all these memories back. These memories that have been suppressed, and it only comes back when you're just thinking back and you're like, oh, yeah, I remember this thing and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, shit. I'm like, yo, she really had a fucked up, like...
Yeah, man.
Like your relationship career is not very good.
I don't remember how me and the guy of 7 years broke up. Like, well, we broke up, and then like he was still living there. He wasn't moving fast enough. Mm-hmm. And that one night we all went to a club in like Jersey.
Yeah.
So like a bar, really.
Right.
And like his friends, Rick and Tom, who I can see their names because no one knows them.
I know, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about.
Those were like his foot soldiers.
They were, right.
Yeah.
So we were at this club up in like the border of New York and New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And I was with Brooklyn. And he was my friend. He wasn't my boyfriend, but we clearly liked each other at that point. And like it's a crowded club. So I was like leading him by the hand down to the dance floor. Right. And I saw Rick and Tom, and I was like, hey, what's up? And they're like, where's your boy? And I was like, not my boyfriend anymore. And they're like, yo, what? Because they knew we were together forever.
Yeah.
I was like, ask him. Mm-hmm. And, like, I thought nothing of it. I was, like, pissed. I was just like, yo, I don't need to be questioned by these dudes. Like, check your boy.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are supposed to be fucking being good role models for him or whatever. And apparently, like, he dumped them too. So, you know, that's pretty much what was going on. Mm-hmm. He was just, like, on a downward spiral in life. And, like, so I was dancing with Brooklyn on the dance floor. And they called up 7-year boy. Yeah. We'll call him that. Yeah. And they were like, yo, you a fucking punk, dude. We saw your girl, and she's on the dance floor with some dude rubbing his dick up on. You know how guys talk, like, extra. I'm like, they was playing too close. We have to dance like that. They were playing Joe Button after. And that night was just bad. Was it the same night? I don't know if it was the same night we got into the car accident. But, I remember I got home. I think it was the same night. I got home. We got into a car accident that night, and I ended up sleeping on my friend's couch. Mm-hmm. And we had to sleep on his couch because we didn't get him out of jail because he was the one he was drunk and he hit my car. Mm-hmm. So we didn't get him out of like jail, day jail, whatever it's called.
Day jail, right?
Whatever. Till like 5 a.m. Mm-hmm. And then we slept on his couch. I drove him home. We slept on his couch. In the morning, I drove Brooklyn to the train. He went back to Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. And I came home at like 7 a.m. And when I came home, I had like one of those big wood entertainment centers that you could put the DVDs and stuff in the side. Right. That shit was like karate chop broken all over the house.
Okay.
He was a martial artist.
Remember that? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right. So he got his black belt skills on point. And I was like, yeah. And then there was like a bottle of like gin or brandy or something on the table.
Right.
And I was like, oof, something bad happening here. And I called his mother and I was like, where's your son? Is he okay?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, why? And I was like, I told her what happened. And she's like, well, what'd you do to him? I was like, listen, first of all, enough of you, woman.
Enough of you.
she was my friend at one point, and then she just got evil. That's why her husband left her.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so, and I think after that, I like finally talked to him. I was like, I don't know what your beef is. You know, we're broken up. You need to leave. And he finally did. Because I think he realized that he was still doing his own thing. He couldn't be mad that I was. And, like, I understand not wanting to, like, live in it.
Yeah.
But, yo, like, you're sending people, like, chicks dick pics from our bed. Nah.
Yeah.
That's not cool. Get your shit and leave. And I wish I was stronger then, because if I was, I would have, like, just thrown his shit outside.
Oh, yeah. Then you would have.
Then I would have had my moment.
You had your moment, yeah.
I would have been all, like, waiting to exhale about it and put it in a fucking bin in the driveway in Lodi and set that shit on fire. But I didn't. I got scared and I left.
Mm-hmm. That's so crazy. Freaking having dick pics before dick pics were popular like that. Like they are now.
Right. He didn't even have a smartphone. He had a flip phone. Let's be real about this.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. That's insane. I don't understand. But, like, yeah, man. Freaking, yeah. Just, yeah. I keep hearing, like, your relationship stuff. And I was like, yo,
I forgot about that.
And
then my boyfriend gets like, oh, why do you get so bent out of shape about things?
Yeah, exactly. That's
where
what I'm saying.
do you think I was?
No.
I'm like, I don't know where you think you was, but my history tells me that you could have possibly been up to no good.
Yeah, but I mean that's it's totally understandable, but that's bad too. Not every person is the same.
I know. I don't think that he is. I just
no.
I sometimes get like you said, PTSD about things.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like,
You do, yeah. But again, that right there is a perfect example of, you know, being able to throw somebody out and what to do after that. And see, and that person was totally in the wrong, you know, like, yeah, you're out of here, get out of here.
Right.
But still, having that talk is so, yeah, I mean, no guy wants to hear, you know, we have to talk.
Right.
You know, and then like, okay, damn it, now I gotta move out because now I need to find someplace else, or worse, go back to my parents' house.
I think if you listen, unless the person like cheated or just majorly disrespectful to you, like I think you should be respectful and give them a grace period of time to leave.
Right.
Like it's not easy to find a place. It's not easy to like get your shit together. Nobody wants to move, especially not in the dead of winter.
Oh yeah.
Be like respectful about it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yo, if he's sticking his dick in other people, then he don't care about the roof over his head. So fuck it. Let him go stay with her. She wants your dick so bad, stay at her house.
Right. Yeah, you can get all the dick for free now. Right. You know, like all the time or whatever. Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because this article actually kind of reminded me of you because it's from refinery29.com, and it said a 20-something's guide to moving out and moving on. And it says, so you're moving on the heels of a breakup. Please accept my virtual hug. Lord knows I've been there. Over the last 14 years, I've lived in 11 different apartments. 3 of those moves were inspired by a breakup with someone I shared a home with. By now, I have moving down to a science, but it never feels any less taxing, and it's worse when there's a breakup involved. First comes the dreaded division of the belongings. I once came home to an apartment where every imaginable object was covered with post-it notes reading, "This is mine." Yeah, and it just goes on saying like, yeah, she says, you know, like, once you start packing, you don't realize how much, you know, crap you have and all that stuff. Right. And, you know, at long last, you and your boxes land in your new space. Your hands have never looked so dirty. You have no idea where your toothbrush is. Occasionally, it dawns on you like a bad dream you can't escape. This is where you live now, just you, alone. In truth, there are plenty of positives to starting over, many of which grow apparent with time. In the meantime, here are 9 things I've found that make the process a little easier. I hope you find some comfort in them. First things first, breathe. Number 2 is anticipate your needs, plan accordingly. Number 3 is practice safe care like it's your job. Number 4, get clear. And what she means by that is before your move, pack one box full of things that make you feel good. Bath products, your softest shirt, a book that lifts your spirits. Label it clearly and unpack this first. This way, when you're going through the disheveled, organized phase, you can breathe a little easier knowing your immediate needs are taken care of.
Right.
Number 5 is start with a blank slate. Number 6, make it yours. Make the place yours, of course. Number 7, roll with the feelings. There will be feelings. This is okay. When I moved into my solo place, I missed the things about my partner that I never anticipated. The way his feet reminded me of Fred Flintstone's when they smacked against the floor. How he'd leave a glass of water near the bed and never ever drink it. I was suddenly tormented by the way the toilet seat was always down. Give yourself permission to feel your feelings. The emotions will come, and eventually they will pass. Number 8 is make new memories. Oh, and the night before I moved into my new place, I hosted a painting pizza party. See, this is you. My friends and I painted the walls of my new living room so that upon my official arrival, it already felt like a place that I was touched by the people I love. Number 9, embrace the loneliness. If all else fails, remember this quote from the inimitable, that's not the word, inimitable Martha Beck. Loneliness is proof that your innate search for connection is intact. Loneliness, while uncomfortable, isn't actually a bad thing. It's just further evidence that you are a person bound for future happiness. It may feel crappy, but you've got this. Congratulations on your new beginning. One day, not too far from now, life will be fun and easy again. I promise. So with that, how does it feel when that person has left? Because you said, you never had to leave, so you never really felt how this person's feeling, but you've kicked a few people out in your day. How does it feel like when that person is gone and that
it depends on why you wanted them to leave. Like
that regimen, you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it's like a sigh of relief, but then other times it's like hard. Like when me and my ex first broke up, I really wanted him to leave at first. Like I was just like, I felt like I needed a vacation from him. Mm-hmm. Like I needed to know if I'd miss him or not. Mm-hmm. And I didn't miss him. Like I missed the routine.
That's what I meant. Routine, not regimen. Yeah.
Same difference. Like, I missed that, but then, like, I didn't miss the fights. Like, I didn't miss, like, the little things that, like, could have been fixed. Mm-hmm. Could you ever fight with somebody and you're like, this is the stupidest fucking fight. Stop it now.
Right.
You're just like, can you pick your socks up off the living room floor? What the fuck? If my socks want to be there, they're going to be there. Blah, 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 blah. Why don't you pick them up? Just fucking pick them up. Or I could have just shut up and just been like, okay, let me just smell these stink socks all day.
Right.
Like, I could have just let it go. But now it's like, you're fighting me about socks. We're going to fight. Because
right.
This is a ridiculous argument and I'm not beat for this. Mm-hmm. And, like, why can't you just respect your space? Like, yeah, it's not the end of the world. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember, like, the first day we moved here, it was maybe the first week. He was like, there's ants in the basement. Okay. And I was like, okay. And I was like, 2 floors up. Like, what would you like me to do about them? Like, know what we have here. We don't have, like, ant bait. I'm like, well, I'll have to get something in the morning. Mm-hmm. I'm like, can you just put, like, paper towel on them and try to stamp out as many as you can? Mm-hmm. And, like, he was just like, whoa. I'm like, dude, like, why are you like, you're the man of the house, allegedly. Right. Like, what do you want me to do? Mm-hmm. So I came downstairs with paper towel and spray and sprayed, and, like, I'm just like, okay, like, well, it didn't have to be a fight. So as much as, like, I miss, like, and I still, like, miss having someone to come home to. Right, yeah. Or, like, having somebody here at night to have dinner with. Right. And I don't think my boyfriend really gets that. Like, I like that nesting period. I like that. Yeah. And there's things that I could have done differently that I plan to do once I get the opportunity again. But, like, it's like the things that I miss, I could have with somebody who's gonna respect me more.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Those things weren't tacked to him.
right.
You know, it wasn't like something that
It wasn't
he made
something
special.
that special that he did.
Right.
Because he would come home and like come to the basement, and I'd never see him until the next morning when he came to like put his clothes on.
Yeah.
So like, that was like, oh, okay, good knowing you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I guess it like just depends on like, what it is. Like once a person's gone, there's things that you miss. Like, you just kind of sit there and like decide what's important and what's not important. But if you're aggravated, then put a shit on the lawn, set it on fire, and keep it moving.
Even the lawn business.
If you don't have a lawn, do it on the sidewalk. It's probably safer.
Oh, jeez.
Just hurry before summer comes.
Mm-hmm.
Smokey the Bear won't get you.
Oh, man. All right. Well, there's another article called thesavvygal.com. And this is after the breakup, the ABCs of moving out and on. So this person says, congratulations, you're on your breakup. And it's like there's some things that you can do. Moving out and moving on. If you're the one moving out, do so as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have to move in with friends momentarily, it's better than crashing at the scene of the crime for weeks on end. You can always put your stuff in storage until you find a more permanent place to live. Exit etiquette. If you're the one who's moving out, arrange a time for you to pack your belongings when your ex is not home. The less contact you have right now, the better. You don't want a bad breakup to escalate into a shouting match, restraining orders for the both of you, or worse, reconciliation with the wrong person.
Right.
Staying put and still moving on. And if your ex is the one to heave ho, show him the same courtesy you'd expect of him by making yourself scarce when he's packing his things and moving out. If you're worried about him trashing or stealing your stuff, ask a trustworthy guy friend to supervise in your absence. And I think this is probably the most important. Exorcising your ex. Once your ex has moved out, you'll want to follow these post-breakup rituals to help exorcise your ex. Get rid of any evidence that your ex actually existed. This includes old photos, his cologne under your bathroom sink, the alma mater mug he used to slurp coffee from, and so on. Rearrange your furniture so things don't look exactly the same.
So many times I've done that.
Really?
I've like moved my bed, get like new sheets and like some new piece of furniture to like have just to feel better.
Right. Just be sure to plug in a nightlight so you don't trip over that footstool or your bookcase on your 4 a.m. trip to the bathroom. Replace items your ex took with things that make you happy. Brighten your space with colorful flowers.
I'm getting a new mattress.
A new picture on the wall.
No, I really am.
You're
I
getting
really
a new
am.
mattress?
This just like really made me like I've been wanting a new mattress because I've had mine since Brooklyn.
Oh wow, okay.
Since my birthday, when I lived with Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what year that was. 2007. I don't know. 2009.
No.
The summer of 2000. No.
Oh yeah. Probably
2009.
Probably 9. Yeah.
So 2009. So I've had the mattress for 7-8 years, right?
Yes.
That's enough. It's gotta go.
Yeah.
It's gotta go. And I don't want any bad juju, karma, or ex-boyfriend's stuff on there.
Right.
Especially if nope, that's it. Making a decision. Happening.
Yeah. I think it should be done before the summer comes.
Well, that's if the summer comes.
Is something happening?
No.
Are we gonna die?
No, God willing, hopefully not.
No, but I'm just saying
I mean,
summer. Like by the time the summer
well,
comes,
the summer.
like
I have my own personal deadlines about things.
Oh, okay. No, but I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
like in the summer.
But in the summer, you're still gonna. What? You're still gonna be here in the summer. 1 and 2. The summer is coming eventually because that's how the calendar year works.
Okay, when you say like so in the summer, I kind of have like a personal deadline with my relationship.
That's fine.
When you say in the summer, that's kind of what I meant. Like if that deadline comes.
But regardless, if it comes or not,
I should get a new mattress.
You should get a new mattress. It don't matter if your boyfriend's here or not. I don't give a fuck about him. I'm talking about your because you're sleeping in that bed. So
right.
You take care.
This bed of lies.
You take care of that mattress. You know what I'm saying? You get a new mattress. It doesn't matter about your relationship. But I mean, yes, whatever. You can have your own personal thing, but I'm just saying you have your own bed, so
Let me ask Facebook if those box
do that.
mattresses are worth the hype.
Oh, the one all the way to the ground? That one?
No, I mean I have a box spring.
Oh, and last but not least, speaking of beds, sleep in the middle of the bed. It's all yours, baby.
Oh yeah, I used to sleep sideways.
So there's that. So yeah, so there you go. You got something out of it. Get a new mattress.
I'm asking Facebook right now.
So there you go. But this is but here's the see, this is perfect. See, I love your unintentional segues. There is an article called hellogiggles.com.
Hello, Giggles.
And the title of it is called "My Boyfriend and I Unmoved in Together and Was the Best Decision." So basically, from what I gathered, this person, this woman, I don't think she ever gave her name, but she was dating her boyfriend Jordan for almost 2 years. When they decided to move in together. He was staying in London for because he was studying he was studying law. She graduated grad school, so he was like, "Yo, just come and freaking like move in with me. Like it's all good." So she was like, "Yeah," and she was itching for adventure. So boom, they moved in, and she says, it was the perfect situation to test the waters of living together, and I'm really glad we gave it a shot because it turned out living with your boyfriend is a lot harder than I anticipated.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go through this real quick because there was very interesting things that she was talking about. She said, she says, I prepared myself for us to get sick of each other, but I didn't really know what that meant. I assumed it would entail some light bickering, rolling of the eyes, and a night or two of alone time. I thought that we would continue the relationship we already had, just in close quarters. Instead, our relationship completely changed. It adapted to the new space, our new life, and it became something totally new and different. When living apart, Jordan and I were actually truly dating. We'd see each other 2 or 3 times a week, considering ourselves lucky if we got to hang out more than that. Usually we'd have a plan for our night together, and there would be a sparkle of specialness about the whole thing. I'd put on a lipstick or a new dress I knew he liked, and we'd go out to eat and buy or make food together. And yes, there were definitely days where the dress and the lipstick and the Trader Joe's hors d'oeuvres were replaced with dingy sweatpants, morning breath, and PB&Js. But the space between our dates, the hours away from each other, were a huge part of our courtship. We had time to miss each other. Living together meant no mystery. Jordan saw all the things I usually did by myself in the privacy of my apartment, binge watching Pretty Little Liars, taking unnecessary naps, and crying for no reason. These comforts... Can you relate? Is that why you're laughing?
I don't know. I have to watch This Is Us alone.
These comforts were changed by the fact that there was now a witness besides my cat. Even though Jordan never gave me any reason to, I felt guilty when he was around my laziness. To make up for it, I tried to do most of the grocery shopping and cooking. I felt double guilty when the chores stressed me out. Eventually, I talked to Jordan about it and we compromised. Most days, I cooked and he cleaned. The word compromise came up in so many of the articles I read when I moved in with Jordan, but the kind of compromise the writers were talking about referred to the TV remote or who gets first dibs on the shower. Jordan and I never really had any problems with those kind of compromises in terms of stuff. We were both pretty easygoing. Instead, we had to compromise when it came to emotions. For instance, I realized something really important about myself. I wake up in a bad mood every day. No matter what, the sun rises to find me on the wrong side of the bed. Once I get moving and thinking happy, caffeinated thoughts, my day is all uphill from there. Poor Jordan. We quickly realized that he has a terrible bad mood immunity. While I woke up like the Grinch, but cheered up within the hour, Jordan caught my grumpiness and it followed him around all day like a thundercloud. We were both embarrassed. Why couldn't I wake up happy? Why couldn't he just ignore me? Thus, the compromising began. They would barely
sleep in separate beds. Throwback.
Yeah, exactly. Throwback. Oh my God. He was like, on a normal morning, we barely spoke to each other. Sometimes I let Jordan get ready before I ventured out of bed. It wasn't ideal, but we were trying to protect each other from each other. Mm-hmm.
Sounding scary already. Oh, my key back.
By the time we were making plans to return home to Los Angeles, Jordan and I agreed to go back to living separately. We communicated really consistently over those 5 months abroad, but there were no surprises or hurt feelings. At first, I was worried we were giving up on a new phase of our relationship, but that we were taking a step back. However, I was pleased to report our decision brought us closer than ever. It's been 6 months since I unmoved in with my boyfriend. We are lucky enough to see each other a few times a week, and I still get giddy when I see his toothbrush in my medicine cabinet. When I tell people that we aren't living together anymore, they assume the worst. I'm so sorry you didn't make it, they say. You guys just weren't ready. Well, that's half true. Our relationship is going strong, but we weren't ready to live together. While we're sure of our feelings for each other...
Did she say how long she waited?
How long she waited into what?
They moved in together?
2 years. They're dating for 2 years.
Doesn't give me hope at all.
While we're sure of our feelings for each other, our lives are full of uncertainty. Yeah, that's pretty about it. You know, she's thankful for the time that she spent living with Jordan in London, and she was totally okay with trying for something. And living together with no casualties is hard work. For now, it's so much better just to enjoy ourselves, go on dates, feast on those Trader Joe's frozen stuffed mushrooms.
Ew. That's why they didn't work.
Yeah, because of the Trader Joe's. Yeah,
I'm sure.
Sorry for the long read, but I believe that was very important to really see that story unfold. And because moving in, well, I'm not gonna say moving is not for everybody. It was just too early for them, you know. But it was good for them. I mean, not it was good for them. I'm glad that not moving in with each other didn't break their relationship. You know, like right. I'm glad that they had the opportunity to try it out and be like, you know what, nah, it's not working. Let's go back to one. As opposed to they move in with each other, things are shitty, and then like they break up. You know, so it was good that they honed in on what was the problem. Just like, oh man, there's no mystery, blah blah. And I kind of see that where that can be kind of deflating, because I know, like you said, you want somebody to be there when you come home, and I'm
pretty much home all the time, but
no,
I mean, like, yeah,
no, but I definitely feel that too. Like that's great to, you know, like your loved one is there waiting for you. You know, like
right.
that's really a cool feeling. But sometimes, yeah,
like he kind of hung out this morning, and like, whatchamacallit, like he was here for a while, and I was like, aw, I was like, I don't even think he heard me, wasn't paying attention. I was like, I enjoy your presence. Mm-hmm. And I was like, but I felt good knowing that, like, because, like, sometimes, you know, like, she was feeling like, you're just like, oh my God, get out of my space. But I was like, oh, this is lovely.
Right. Yeah, but sometimes.
And he's just like, I have to go home and do stuff. I'm like, oh God. Here we go.
Right. But sometimes you don't know the whole, you know, you don't know the person's whole routine. Like let's say if he stayed, you know, you guys would stay together for like 2 weeks or something like that in the house, in either house, yours or his. Like you'd see each other's whole routine. So it's like, will you guys be able to stand that? How did it feel? How did it feel when you were dating somebody, right? Mm-hmm. And then you finally have him move in, and
I
you're
think
like, what the hell?
It's always going to be great, and then it kind of just turns into
like, I didn't know this about this person, like
right.
how he was. Like, did you feel that when you moved in with
my ex,
whoever?
Every time I like went to his house, I was kind of like, he like kind of like put on, you know, his representative for me, and was like, my house is clean and everything's great and I'm going to be attentive to you, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, once you move in together, like, you don't have to be attentive to that person. They live here.
Right.
But, like, I mean, he was never, like, ignoring me.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually, like, really felt like I had a healthy relationship with him because we both trusted each other. So, like, for the most part, like, if he'd go out with his friends, he'd be like, all right, bye, see you later. You know, as long as like I felt like there was still enough attention like within the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
or like vice versa, I'd go out with my friends all the time. Like, but I do think that we like abused that because we lost ourselves somewhere.
Okay.
Like we kind of kept going out and just being like, oh, it's okay. We trust each other. We love each other. That person's going to still be okay when I get home, you know? But then it was like he would go out because he was mad. I remember he went out once and like went to the movies and he had to turn his phone off. Obviously, he's in the movies.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You could have put it on silent.
Right, yeah.
Whatever. He could have told me he was going to a movie.
Yeah.
So he didn't answer me for hours. But I was like, oh, he lives here. He has to come home. Or to his mom's house, which I'll drive by in 2 hours if I don't see him. You know, but I was just like, it was like, I don't know, it was like different. You know, like you just have like a different dynamic and you have to learn to have like a different respect for each other. Like if you're supposed to be coming home to me, I'm going to worry about you.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes you do need that space, but you have to like learn how to communicate. And I think like anyone can survive living together if you communicate. And like you can't say, pick up your fucking socks. Like that is annoying. Right?
Right.
You know, you're going to have like a house meeting. Like, hey, listen. Could you not leave your socks in the living room? Like my girlfriends would be like, just pick them up yourself. I'm like, I am not his mother. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
He can pick up his socks. He knows where they go.
Right.
It's not that far. It's like he's going to the bedroom eventually anyway. Stop your shit.
Right.
So, I don't know. I think it's an important experience to have.
Right.
I think you definitely have to do it. You learn a lot about yourself, what you're willing to tolerate, and everything else.
Moving in?
Yeah.
And hopefully that person doesn't have to move out. Because I don't know if you necessarily want to have that experience either.
If they do, they do. Shit happens.
Right.
So that's all I have on that topic. I've completely damaged myself tonight.
No, the redeeming thing is you need to get rid of that mattress.
Yeah, it is. I gotta like start looking into that.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna start doing that. My birthday present to myself.
There you go. Yes. Yeah. Perfect. That's awesome. Good. Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, yeah, we're ending the show, but have you moved out? Asking the listeners here, have you moved out or did you kick anybody out? How did that go? Please tell us your story. We want to hear. So, you can hit us up at Gmail at bedlovebeyond@gmail.com. The website is www.bedlovebeyond.com, where we'll have more articles on this very subject. You can give us a call or text us at 201-862-8-BED. That is 201-862-8233. And also you can just hit us up with anything you want to talk about. You can hit us up with another topic that you think that we haven't hit yet. If you don't want to email us, just give us a call or text us, whatever you like. You can hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/bedlovebeyond. You can talk to us personally, or you can talk to all the fans that we have for the show. And also you can follow us at bedlovebeyond on Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube. All right, guys. So that is the end of the show, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace.